Welcome children. Prehistoric period. That's the topic of our lesson today. In history, we have a prehistoric period and we have a historic period. You can divide it into two parts. The first part is prehistoric period. The second one is the historic. What is prehistoric period? Prehistoric period is that period when man did not know how to record, how to write down. He did not have a script. He did not know writing. So he was handicapped that way. Man took nearly 2 million years. 2 million years to develop the script. Again, you have scripts of different languages. We will not go to that issue. For the first script to come into existence, man took about 2 million years. It was only about 5,000 years ago, 3,000 years before Christ and 2,000 years after the birth of Christ. Altogether, about 5,000 years ago, the scripts were evolved. Once script was evolved, man was able to write. To begin with, he started writing on stone walls. He started writing on palm leaves. Anything that is hard and that can last long, such bases he required to write. Then about 500 years ago, paper was invented. He started writing on paper. Then he had the print machines. Now you have the digital facility. It's all in evolution. So the period before 5,000 years, or in BC, if I had to tell, 3,000 years before Christ, man did not have a script. That's what you see here. Prehistoric period, it is characterized by absence of script. What is script? The letters you write, that is what you call a script. What a scribe uses. A scribe is a student. Somebody who wants to study and learn, he has to write, no? That is script. English has its own script. Kannada has its script. Hindi doesn't have its script. It has Devanagari script that is used for writing. Quite amazing. Hindi doesn't have a script, a language without script. They write in Devanagari script. No linguistic development. What happened? When there was no script, language development turns to be very slow. People can only talk to each other. Nothing can be recorded. Nothing goes into history in the form of records. Man was a nomad. Now you have to add up all the elements. I am ascribing history by way of the different templates one by one. The first one I said, script was not there. What's the second one? Man did not stick on to a particular region. He was traveling from one place to the other. He was migrating in search of such features that make his life possible. He can survive. So man was a nomad. If he is on the Kaveri basin today, as Kaveri dries up, he will start moving towards Krishna. From Krishna he may move on to some lake area. He settles there for a few months. Then when rain starts, he may come back even, or he may move further. So these families, human families, homo families, they were moving from place to place in order to survive. So survival was a tough proposition, very tough proposition. So of all his basic requirements, surviving the physical situation outside was a very tough job. Why was he migrating, moving from place to place? One is food gathering. He has to get food. Hunting. If he doesn't have animals there to hunt, he would naturally move to another place. So hunting and food gathering made man move from one place to the other. They used tools made of stone, wood and bones. See, animals, we believe they don't make any tools. Animals live their life, but they can't make tools. But still now, chimpanzees have been found to make tools. Chimps. So far they were telling animals did not make any tools. But they have found out an insignia in chips which has prompted us to think that it must have begun there. When it goes near an anthill, it knows the anthill is full of ants inside. It cuts the twig of a plant, removes all the leaves and the secondary twigs, it cuts them, makes it to a fine tool, puts it inside, holds it for a minute or two, then it draws it out slowly. It will be full of ants. Then it puts it in its mouth and grabs all the ants, swallows them. See, it is a tool. The first tool an animal has developed. Body organs they develop, but from whatever is available around us, you pluck something, take something and develop a tool which would facilitate your life. That is what we have. Now man uses lot of tools. We have plenty of tools which we use to make our life sublime. So they use tools made of stones, easily available stone. An animal is chasing you, you pick up a stone, or you pick up a club made out of wood and hold it and start dashing towards the animal, frightening it such that it should turn away. Or it can be of bones even, animal bones. Animal bones are hard, they too can become tools in the hand. So these were the first tools man started using. Stones, wooden pieces, wooden clubs, even to kill another person, bones, these became the first tools. See, the third important characteristic we find in the case of prehistoric people. Fourth one, where did they stay? Now lot of research is going on. The sites that we have found are on the banks of rivers. When we went on digging, we found spaces inside earth, empty blocks, full of tools which they had used then, made of stone. What did they do? They took flint stone, flint. That's igneous rock. Flint stone is igneous rock. If you break it, if you hit it with another rock, it gets sharp edge. Sometimes you get, sometimes you don't. Then you can chip it off. By chipping off, cutting and all, you can develop nice tools. Here you see them, the kind of tools they developed from stone. They sat and made these tools. What for? To kill animals, to tear the skin, cut the skin of the animal, cut the muscles, remove them, cut them into pieces. For all these he needed tools. Even to chop off a tree or cut a tree into smaller pieces, he needed tools. He didn't have an axe, so he made use of stones. With the help of those, he started building small huts as dwellings. All these did not happen over 10 years or 15 years. They did not have that much of expertise. All these took millions of years. The Stone Age is around 2 million years. 2 million years. Because the innate capability of man, homo, the species, homo species. Homo has to improve to such an extent, by continuous use, he should get the idea as to how he should go about. Apes do not. Apes have not developed that much of capability. But on the evolutionary cycle, man developed. Man got the brain where he can think, the insight he had and the ideas he was getting, and slowly started improving his abilities. In Bhimbetka, Hundsagi, Kurnool, in these places, research scholars, we call them as archaeologists. They are called as archaeologists. They put all these free tools, items, different things they get, they put together. They try to understand what for they were using all these, how was their life, how did they build up their life on the basis of all these, what was their life like. All these they do research day and night over years, and part by part they try to understand how things developed over years. What for they used? They used fire. Fire came into existence. Fire was discovered by hitting one stone with the other, or maybe when lightning took place and some plants started burning, tall plants, they went and tried fire. They thought, this fire, with this help of this fire we can cook. Maybe some meat they got in the fire tasted well. They thought by cooking we can improve the taste of the food. So they had to keep the fire burning all the time. They had to think over that. So fire was a major invention. They used fire to cook food, for lighting, and to frighten animals too. Tigers used to attack, but how to chase them away? They had to take a torch in their hand, burning torch, and run towards the tiger. Only that can make the tiger take a turn and move off, because they were frightened of fire. Tigers were frightened of fire. So night times were very difficult to spend, to while away. The entire community cannot sleep in the night. At least some 2-3 will have to sit awake and watch for the wild animals attacking them. Life was difficult, not as simple as it is today. Then cave drawings of wild animals and hunting. He was always interested in knowing more about wild animals. So what did he do? He started drawing them. Where did he draw? He drew the pictures of those wild animals on the walls of the caves. He experimented. That experiment too must have gone for years together. Hunting. He started developing ways and means of hunting wild animals. How to hunt them? What are their weaknesses? How can I catch them? It's a tough job. If he doesn't hunt, he won't have food. Then major change in Earth's environment about 12,000 years ago. See, 2 million years I said, the Homo species, they went on undergoing changes, improvement, progress, evolutionary progress, everything. About 12,000 years ago, before Christ, there was a big change in the world environment. We call it as the advancement of the Ice Age. Reasons are not known. The temperature of the world started falling. The temperature started falling, and the ice that had packed the northern poles, that started spreading southwards. Almost entire Europe came under the sway of Ice Age. Present Russia, Siberia, China, it came up to Himalayas. Entire area got submerged in ice because the world temperature, global temperature fell. As the global temperature fell, water started turning into ice. There were migrations. He had to struggle a lot in order to see that he survives. In lakhs and lakhs of wild animals got killed. Human beings too got killed. Weather became uncertain. You call it as Ice Age. Later, the Ice Age once again gets back. Now we say weather is heating up. You see the reverse of it. We say the temperature of the world is picking up. Weather is turning hot. With that, we have lot of rains. We get lot of rains because the temperature has gone up. More clouds get formed. More and more of water is getting evaporated into the skies. Whatever gets evaporated has to come down. And uncertain. The rains are not seasonal. They are uncertain. If it rains heavily. Otherwise it won't rain at all for weeks together. So uncertainty in rains. All these are problems we are facing because of the global temperature rise. So there was a major change in Earth's environment 12,000 years ago. Temperature rises, grasslands appeared. Again now, temperature rises after the ice age. When the temperature started rising, ice started getting back. And grasslands appeared. Animals started multiplying. Human beings once again started moving into those areas. He started domestication of animals. Another big science. Oh, instead of hunting these deer, the elks or the cattle or the goats and sheep every day for my livelihood, why should I not catch hold of a few of them and keep them tied? I get milk. In the meanwhile, to satiate my hunger, I can kill them and cook. So he started thinking in terms of domesticating them, so he need not go hunting every day. Now, domestication of animals led to another science. He had to even look into their welfare now. He should see that they remain healthy, they don't die of some disease. So animal husbandry started developing. What kind of food should I give? How should I treat them? How should I take care of them? There's animal husbandry. Today it's a big science. Vets, veterinarian doctors, they study animal husbandry. Then dairy. How to run a dairy, get milk, use the milk. He came to know that milk is a very good food. So dairying, animal husbandry and dairying, they were able to develop very well. Farming began. When he found that seeds, they sprout into plants and those plants give us the needed grain cereals. He started getting the grains, throwing them and just making them grow in wild. He did not start farming all of a sudden. He started throwing some paddy grains, seeing them growing, then collect the corn and remove them and use to begin with. Then slowly he started stepping into farming in a systematic way, clearing ground and growing the plants which would give us cereals. So from farming you come to agriculture. So rice, the first few he started growing, rice, wheat, barley. They are naturally growing plants. Even if you don't grow, they grow on their own. Now as man started growing them, he started bringing some system there. Now here, the cutting edge, the discovery of stones being used as tools, or later iron and bronze and copper being used, it gave a cutting edge to man. It gives us sense in two ways. Cutting edge, you can cut things. That's a normal understanding we have. It gave a cutting edge to mankind to take a swift turn in his growth and development. He got a tool in his hand. With the tools in his hand, he was able to control the environment around him. When you go into a forest, if you don't have anything in your hands, very difficult to survive. You have a gun in your hand. Yeah, the way you counter when animals attack is different. You show the gun. You have fire. You show the burning torch. So, the discovery of stones being used as tools, it gave a cutting edge to man. It gave a swift turn to man's progress and development on this planet. Here some are made of bronze, copper and iron too. These are all stone tools. Now all these give us a clear understanding how things developed. Again, this period is divided into early period, the middle period, the later period. You have a lot to study, but you are studying everything in a nutshell. Only that much what you require from the study point of view of your class. Now here you saw the stone tools. Here you have cave drawings. These are not drawn. These are the actual photos of some of the cave drawings of those people. See the kind of human beings they had drawn. Some are almost running. They found if I draw like this, it gives swift movement. So it's all invention. Here, fire, discovery of fire. When he discovered fire, in order to see that fire doesn't get extinguished and it burns continuously, he has to collect wood and keep on the side. It should be dry and one person should sit there all the time. Here one person is sitting. He should see for hours. He should see that the fire keeps burning. It doesn't get extinguished. Day and night in turns they have to sit. Once fire gets extinguished, he doesn't know how to get the fire back easily. Creating fire was not an easy task. He has to go on hitting one stone over the other for hours together. He may succeed, he may not succeed. So he had to see that fire remains ablaze continuously. These are the key aspects. Now here you see the timeline. Timeline gives you a sharp sense of distinguishing things one from the other. About 150,000 years ago, Homo sapiens, they appeared in Africa. Even today, a lot of research is going on in these directions. Homo sapiens is the name of man who is existent in this world today. At least 7 to 8 different kinds of human beings have appeared and disappeared on this earth at different times. They did not survive in the long run of struggle for survival. Now ultimately Homo sapiens have survived. Homo sapiens means Homo, that's the generic name. Sapiens means the wise. Man the wise. We ourselves, we have called us as wise, the wise of all the wisest of all the animals in this world. Homo sapiens, man the wise. This is a biological term, Homo sapiens. When you say this is generic part of the name, this is species part, Homo sapiens. 40,000 years ago, humans reached Europe, migration. 30,000 years ago, humans reached Australia. How did they go? Did they know to make boats? They did not know then. Then how did it happen? Ice Age, I told you Ice Age. When Ice Age came up, continents got bridged up due to ice. Islands and islands met each other. Continents, islands, they got the ice bridge. And that was the time when man started moving from one continent to the other island, from there to another place, because he was a migrant. He never settled anywhere. And he did not have any favorable reasons why he should settle in one place. Today man settles in a place because he has property. He has his house. He has his relatives. He is afraid of going to a new place and settling. Employment. All these become key issues. Man tries to settle. In those days, such a feeling was not there. They used to just go in search of a suitable hunting yard, hunting place, wild animals. Somehow they should be able to pull on. They did not have a purpose or objective, long-term objective in life. They need not send their children to school. Today, at least to send children to the school, you have to stay in one place. You cannot go on changing the modus operandi as to where you go and stay and earn your living. 30,000 years ago, humans reached Australia. Australia is a separate continent in itself. It's not easy to reach there without boats and ships. But he reached because these ice bridges helped. So there was a lot of human movement over this world during the Ice Age period. Some succeeded, some died on the way. 13,000 years ago, humans reached North America. You ask the question, I know. Sir, Columbus went there 500 years ago. How do you say 13,000 years ago they went there? 13,000 years ago, some of the people, some sections of the people from Northern Europe, those who were living in Norway, Sweden and Germany, in that area, they moved towards north. There they got ice bridge to reach North America. There they went south and they settled there. They are the people who are called as Red Indians now in America. Red Indians. Once they went, they could not come back. Whereas to go there, it will take years together. They go settle there and their children, their kith and kin, they grow up and flourish there. So that's the interesting part. They did not cross the Atlantic Ocean and go to America. They went north. They went north in Europe. There, from the Scandinavian part, they crossed over to the North Canada part, full of ice, and then they moved south, and people who survived this long journey, they settled in the continent of America, and they were called as Red Indians. And certain sections moved even to South America, because man did not originate in America. It is said man must have originated either in Europe or Africa. From there he went on spreading all over the world. 13,000 years ago, humans reached North America. Now almost they spread all over the world. 15,000 years ago, cave dwelling. Man started thinking, why should I not stay in these caves? Let me settle here. He cleared the cave, removed all the bushes around, and he made it his settlement, cave dwelling. 12 to 10,000 years ago, you call it as Neolithic age. This is also Stone Age. Lithic means litho means stone. Neo means new Stone Age, Neolithic. New, lithic, stone, new Stone Age, 12 to 10,000 years ago. A short period, lot of discoveries went on in that period, new Stone Age. That is followed by 6,000 to 3,000 years ago, Bronze Age and Iron Age. He was able to find out the metals, and with those metals he got the needed tools, whatever he is required. About 3,000 years ago, before Christ, 3,000 years ago, writing began. The cave drawings he was drawing, that gave a fillip to him to develop the script one by one. If I mark like this, it means like this. If I mark like this, it means this way. And he started establishing letters, words, and that, this. Again, that's a big job. He was successful in a very crude way. Scripts got developed. They flourished, they improved. And now we have beautiful scripts in different languages wherein we can do most of the jobs, day-to-day jobs, through our written messages and written scripts. This is all about the prehistoric period. It starts somewhere around lakhs of years ago. You cannot establish the exact time, and ends up as the script gets invented. Languages start getting developed. Linguistic science, lingua means tongue. When you can use tongue to pass on a message, to converse with others, you call it lingua, a definite language, what that has quite a clear meaning. So language word has come from lingua. Lingua is the word which denotes tongue. Without tongue, there can't be language. So linguistic development. So this is all about the prehistoric age. From the prehistoric age, you come to the medieval and modern age. Thank you.